I would much rather sharpen my tools and my skills. Nice. Okay, here we are. What the fuck is this? So, I just wanted to come on here and say that hustle culture is bullshit. And this is coming from a guy who used to work 3 different jobs while doing full time school and also managing to hit the gym in my early 20s. And up until very recently as well, working 80, 100 hours every single week. I mean, I stopped counting at that point. I was just coming in to work from the moment I woke up, and I stayed there until the moment I had to go to sleep. Actually, let me get a different microphone real quick because it feels like, well, never mind. What I was gonna say is that it feels like I'm a news reporter, right? And I'm not. All right, this is much better. So I'm just gonna address the elephant in the room right away and say it as it is. But nobody actually enjoys hustling. I mean, the fact that you have to work all of the possible waking hours and not do anything else, essentially you're sacrificing all of your hobbies, things you do for fun, spending time with a family. Maybe it's having a girlfriend. Maybe it's playing some games. But you're sacrificing all of that just to run on a treadmill. And if your identity is linked to how much you can produce and output as a human, well, that's not going to make you a very happy person in the long run. And I know this because I was the same. Up until just last year, I was always working. And if I wasn't, I would feel panicked that I need to always do something. And if I wasn't doing anything, it's just I'm worthless. And maybe a lot of you guys feel the same way, that right now you just have to hustle and all these people online are telling you you gotta just work all the time and you gotta build up your future. And yes, that part is right. But chances are you're just running on a treadmill. It means you're going fast, you're putting in all the work, but you're actually not getting anywhere because it's just a treadmill. And to be honest with you guys, so I'm 26 right now, and I really started getting into this whole hustle culture when I was 20. So for the past 5 years, I just went nonstop. I skipped all vacations, I missed weddings, I missed every family event, fuck Christmas, fuck hanging out with friends. I just did next to none of that. And it wasn't for a bad reason. I just thought, you know what? Let me get all my shit together and then I'm gonna catch up on everything that I've missed. But the truth is, I would have made just as much progress and be in the position I am today if I had done all of the grinding and hustling or haven't done that. And that's because there are only really a few things you need to focus on to actually get ahead and make progress. You don't have to do all of the above. And I'm gonna give you a very quick and easy example. So, back when I started in the gym when I was a teenager, I used to make it my life. And honestly, I had nothing better to do, so I might as well. But I would go to the gym twice a day. I would cook all the time, make my meals. I would eat for purpose, not for pleasure. And I thought this is just what I had to do because I saw all these bodybuilders online saying, you just gotta eat, you gotta get the chicken down, you know, it doesn't matter if it's dry, it doesn't matter if it doesn't taste good. And I taught myself to just consume everything and at the same time focus on all these macronutrients, counting my calories, protein, all of these small things, and thinking maybe this one exercise in the gym is gonna actually make the biggest difference, or just really being stuck in this loop of thinking that I need to be doing all of these things to make any gains. And that couldn't be further from the truth. And maybe back then I was making beginner gains, but to this day I'm still making gains, but it's completely different. I don't nearly spend as much time as I used to on this kind of stuff because there are a few high leverage tasks or things that you gotta do that are gonna make most of your results. And in this case, it's go to the gym, eat a lot of protein, and track your progress. So by tracking your progress, I mean, are you getting stronger in the gym? And every single morning that I wake up, I take a progress picture and I go and weigh myself on the scale. That's how I know I'm actually making progress. And that's it. And believe it or not, you can still make gains like this. I know, it's mind-blowing. It's that simple. And this applies to basically everything else. You guys have probably heard of this somewhere else, but it's called the 80-20 rule, which means 20% of the work you do or the actions you take account for 80% of the results. But the opposite is also true. The other 80% of all the work you do accounts for only 20% of your result. What's the point of that? Unless maybe something like bodybuilding is your life and your career, sure, you might want to maximize those last couple percent. But for the majority of us who just want to go to the gym to stay fit and to look good and feel good about ourselves, that's not going to make the world of difference. But you're going to end up putting in that much more work when it's unnecessary. And you have to look at everything this way. Just ask yourself right now, what things are you doing that are going to get you to the future you want? And specifically, pay attention to which exact actions make the biggest difference. I've already given you an example of the gym, but let's say you're in school and you're studying for an exam or a test or something. There's one person who used to be me, who would sit down, make a whole list, a to-do list, an assignment list. Okay, watch this lecture, study for this test. I never study, by the way. Do these 3 assignments, then open up the next class, and I would have this gigantic list. And then when it's time to do the work, I just need to make sure I'm at home, I'm in a great environment, I have my coffee, and I selected the music that I want to listen to while I'm working on this. And the other guy has already finished all of his assignments before I got started. It's the 80-20 rule. It's the exact same thing. You're killing your own time by thinking you're being productive, because most things you do in a day, I can guarantee they're not that productive as you think they are. I'm a very organized person, and I used to make so many to-do lists and really organize this whole calendar of things. And over time, I realized that it's nothing more than a waste of time. You wouldn't even need a to-do list if you just got everything done as soon as it came up. Or fine, maybe you can't address it right away. So guess what you can do? What I do these days, I'll give you a very basic example. So in about a month from now, I'm going to my brother's wedding in the Philippines, and I'm gonna need to renew my passport. So that's one of the things I have to do. To renew my passport, I'm gonna get a haircut. I'm gonna go take passport photos. So it's just a few easy things to do. But overall, this doesn't determine the trajectory of my life. So guess what I do every day? I'll make sure I go to the gym, and I'll make sure I record some videos for you guys, or I edit some videos. And then once those things are done, I can worry about to-do lists or other things I have to do, like going and renewing my passport. Your priorities need to be on what makes the biggest difference in your life. And if you do that every day, you're going to see crazy progress. Or at least you're going to see progress which is equivalent to your hustling progress anyway. So I urge you guys to just identify the things that give you the highest leverage. What actually moves the needle? And everything else that you're doing, drop it. Watch how nothing changes in terms of your progress, and watch how suddenly you have extra free time. Guess what? Maybe now you can have enough time to get a girlfriend or to just go and date. Maybe you can spend some more time with your family, or even for that matter, hop on a game of Minecraft with your buddies. That's always a fun time, and you will feel that much better about what you're doing, because not only you're making progress in life, but you're also enjoying your life. And I know what they say, save the enjoyment for later. I'm not saying you have to go ahead and spend everything that you've made or not work at all and enjoy yourself. That's not what I'm saying. Absolutely, you need to build yourself, especially if you're somebody who is young. You need to set up your life. So I'm not saying don't work hard. Working hard is a given. It's just a must. But work hard on the right things. Work hard on the things that actually make a difference. I know I said the same thing like 5 times, but I'm really trying to drive this home. Because what's funny is actually when I was in my early 20s doing all the hustling, I used to just the same way listen to podcasts, watch videos about somebody who's ahead of me and just sharing their experience. So guys in their later 20s would tell me, actually, you didn't have to do all of this grinding and hustling. You can actually chill, do the things that matter with the highest leverage, and you got free time. You got time for other things to actually live your life. And of course, because my identity was tied to how much work I can do, I naturally thought, well, that's bullshit. The only reason you guys got into that position is because you worked all the time. And what's funny is now that I am older and having gone through it and sharing this with you guys, of course, they were right. You don't have to do all of those things that you're doing right now. You just have to do the most important ones. I would much rather sharpen my tools and my skills and then go ahead and carry out the task at hand. Essentially, what I mean is you have to not only work hard, but you also have to work smart. And I'm not saying do one or the other. I'm saying you have to do both. If you take the time to think about what 20% of actions are going to be accounting for 80% of your results and progress, that's essentially just sharpening your tools or using your brain in a smarter way. And that way you can hop off the treadmill, because chances are you're doing a lot of useless things, and it's okay to not work all the time. Once again, this is coming from a person who's worked every possible waking hour. And this is what I've learned. There was absolutely no need for all of that. So if you guys feel pressured to constantly produce and your entire ego and identity is tied to it, maybe this message is going to find you offended, or you're going to think, well, no way. You have to lock in, you have to grind. Absolutely. Some days I'm going to be working all day, but it's not every day. Some days I have less work, some days I have more. Some days I have other things come up that are also important. Maybe there's a family event. And it's the best thing ever to be able to make progress while at the same time not being miserable. Because being in that mindset myself, I know how much it hurts every time you have to miss something that you would have loved to do. Even something as small as playing video games for a couple hours in the evening with your friends. I used to set up Minecraft servers for them for all those years, especially around the winter holidays, and I wouldn't be able to play. I wouldn't allow myself to play. I would feel bad. I realize now I've missed all of those years of connecting with them while they were online just a couple hours a day, maybe just at night after everything's done, having a go at it. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe you're not into gaming. Go get a girlfriend. Maybe you're not in a position to seriously date right now, so don't. Go expand your mind. Learn to talk to women. Learn to stop being shy around them. Spend more time around them. But that's going to give you a lot more results in a different section of your life, for example, dating and women, than making a to-do list or doing whatever other useless tasks that you think are helping you, but they're actually not. And to be honest, the era of hustle culture, it's just dying. It's going away, and we all feel it, and I'm not the only one to make a video about this. I've seen a bunch of other people say the same thing, and I just thought I'd come here and share my experience and where I'm coming from, because I know the pain you guys feel going through it and the pressure, and I also learned that it doesn't have to be this way. So if this message resonated with some of you guys, then feel free to subscribe, like, or share this with a person who you think needs to hear exactly this right now. Maybe it's a friend or a family member that's working their ass off all the time, and maybe they just need another perspective. And with that, I'll catch you guys in the next one.